In this video, we're going to have a look at some of the new things that came out as part of Power BI's March 2026 update, including things like the new base theme, custom totals, and TMDL View on the web. All of that and more, so without further ado, let's jump in. Let's start by covering the old file picker experience, which will be deprecated in Power BI Desktop. The new experience was released in preview way back in January 2025, and it's an improvement because it allowed you to access your reports in places like OneDrive or SharePoint quite easily. And it also lets you pin your folders or files for quick access. While it won't affect any of your reports, it will affect your experience when you're using File Picker in Power BI Desktop if you didn't turn on the preview feature when it was released. There are a few updates to the Copilot experience, like standardization of the look and feel of Copilot in reports and apps, the ability to view prompts, the ability to clear your chats, and the improved feedback submission, which allows you to attach diagnostics and submit them to Power BI. If you're using Smart Narratives to get an AI summary of your data, there's now a way to toggle auto refresh on these summaries, which basically changes the summaries based on the slicer interactions in your report. This way, your summaries will stay in context no matter what the user selection is made. Translytical task flows are now generally available as of this month. This was a feature that came out a few months back, and it allows you to perform actions directly from your report, such as updating your records back into the source or initiating workflows. So if you're holding off on using this feature because it wasn't preview, now it's generally available, so you should be able to use it as part of your production reports. Power BI Desktop now has an updated base theme, which I think looks really awesome. Besides simple things like adding subtitles, typography, uniform paddings, and updated visuals, one thing that I really like about this update is them adding style presets to the visuals themselves. And if you didn't know yet, I'm a big fan of style presets just because it saves you a lot of time from having to redo all your visualizations and keeping them all consistent. And unfortunately, without using any third-party tools like Power UI, for example, there's not really an easy way to create your own style presets to take advantage of this new feature. In this update, there are style presets for different visuals that include certain variations on these visuals, like having data labels or not, which I think is a good introduction to this feature. The new default canvas size is 1920 by 1080, significantly larger than the previous default. They've also added this ability for you to set your own canvas size defaults as part of your custom themes. So if you have a specific page size that you want as a default for your reports, you can now set this directly in your style JSON files. Along with the canvas size, you can also add structural theme colors as part of your visuals, like background and foreground colors. If you're using the old default theme, don't worry, because it won't affect your reports unless you enable this feature, which is currently in preview, by the way. So once you enable it, you go to your custom current theme and hit update theme, which will then update your base theme into the new version. Custom totals is a preview feature that allows you to change your totals behavior when you get those pesky edge cases where your DAX summarizations don't quite add up correctly. To use it, you have to make sure that the preview feature is turned on. Then you simply right-click on your column or your total on your visual, and then select Custom Total Calculation. Then choose the type of total aggregation that you want. This example that they're showing as part of the update is basically showing the number of customers that do not really add up correctly because of how the DAX summarization is happening. So if you change the total here into a custom total, like a sum, for example, you'll notice that there will be a marker on the bottom right here to denote that this is a custom total. Custom totals are actually based on the visual calculations feature. You'll actually notice this when you apply the custom totals to a column, which will convert it into a visual calculation. So when you edit it, it will generate a calculation for you in a formula bar, similar to how you would a typical visual calculated column. Series label lines for line charts have been added, making it easy for you to identify which line belongs to which label. And I'm fairly certain that I've seen this feature before, but this version seems to have more going for it. First of all, it neatly organizes the legends in a more logical layout, and also they are interactive, letting you select the labels themselves to select and highlight that line. The new input slicer now supports multiple conditional formatting options to customize some of its visual elements. Now you should be able to dynamically format more elements like text colors, borders, accent colors, etc. based on your data. TMDL View on web is now in public preview. TMDL View in Power BI Desktop basically lets you modify your semantic models using a code editor, and it's mostly useful for things like bulk edits or automations without having to do them manually in the UI. Making this available on the web is huge because it opens up this capability to users who don't have access to Power BI Desktop like Mac users. DAX UDFs got a new few updates this month, including this new info function that works specifically for custom functions. I've covered the normal version of the info functions, and it's pretty useful if you want to see what functions you have or if you want to document them, which I already covered in a separate video. There are new types that they're adding, like the calendar ref, column ref, measure ref, and table ref, which gives you a lot more flexibility when you're writing your UDFs. DAX UDFs, if you didn't know, is a feature that allows you to define your own custom functions to help you create standard reusable functions particular to your needs. I've already covered it in a separate video, and I've also recently covered DAXLib, which is where community members post their own custom UDFs. It's a great way to dip your toes to see what's possible with this feature. And that's really it for this video. So as usual, I didn't cover everything that was released in this month's updates, only the ones that were pretty interesting to me. So if you want to know what else is there on this month's updates, I'll leave a link to the full blog post in the description box below.